Hey guys, this adventure was a Tradewinds sailing vacation. We sailed from Georgetown in the Exumas to Nassau, Bahamas. If you aren't familiar with Tradewinds, it's a sailing vacation on a 60-foot luxury catamaran. So it's a floating all-inclusive resort staffed by a captain who ensures the guest safety and a chef who prepares scrumptious meals for the 8 to 10 guests on board. Our first sail with Tradewinds was in Fiji, and this was our second in the Bahamas. Tradewinds sailing yachts have three main living areas: the upper, lower, and main decks. The main deck has three sections. The rear dining area affords you beautiful scenic views during meals, so you can see a lovely sunset at dinner. The middle or main living room has a couch for lounging or reading, and the working area houses a full kitchen and navigational equipment. While the catamaran is a relatively small sailing vessel, you really don't feel its smallness when you're on board. The lower deck has the sleeping cabins. Our catamaran, Karma, had 5 cabins, 4 for guests and 1 for the crew. The guest cabins are fairly standard: a queen-size bed that is quite comfortable, and there's adequate but compact storage space. I would recommend bringing suction hooks to place on the wall for extra hanging storage. There's also ample lighting on each side of the bed. We had a cabin at the front of the boat, so it was relatively quiet. There's also a ceiling window if you want to get some fresh air. The bath is small but quite functional. A toilet, small sink, and shower that has a half wall are included in about a 12 square foot area. The upper deck, which is my favorite spot, has a covered bimini, which is lovely for giving shade during the day while you're taking in the views, and is also a wonderful spot to enjoy a before dinner cocktail. The captain might just let you drive the boat for a bit, which Don loved to do. The upper deck is a great place to hang out during the day when you're sailing. Our first day was in Georgetown, and we did a short walking tour of the island. Then we enjoyed an afternoon drink at Choppy's Bar and Grill while we waited to board the catamaran at 5 p.m. Great Exuma is surrounded by pristine aqua waters, as you can readily see. On our second day, we sailed north to Leaf Key, which is a 15-acre private island with 3 white sand beaches. On the catamaran, you can see the island up close and personal. Our day today was filled with swimming and a spectacular sunset. From Leaf Key, we headed to Musha Key, a private island owned by the famous magician David Copperfield. In 2011, he commissioned an artist to sculpt a statue of the mermaid who is looking at a grand piano. He then sank the sculpture in about 13 to 15 feet of water off of the nearby Rudder Key. It is a go-to site for snorkeling since it's a full-size replica of a grand piano, and the mermaid sits on the ground with her arm on the bench, mesmerized by each and every snorkeler who ventures down to sit at the piano and play for her. There's also a cave near Rudder Key that is big enough for the dinghy boats to drive into. You can see how spectacular it was since there is a hole in the roof where the sun simply pours right on in. Both sites were simply memorable and magical. Heading north, we had a lovely morning swim that included some turtles in one of the coves of Little Farmer Key. The turtles were super fun because you can get really close to them, but you can't touch them. You can see how crystal clear the water is, and you can also see the eco chain in action as well. The green fish eat the barnacles from the turtle shell to help keep it clean, and also get to hitch a ride. From swimming with turtles, we headed to the famous Pig Beach just north of Steneel Key. As the name implies, you will see pigs swimming in the shallow waters. To the left and bottom right is Big Papa Dumpling, the largest feral pig that I have ever seen. That's me standing near him, so you can get an idea of just how big he really is. Then there's Big Mama Maggie in the upper left corner looking for a treat from the tourists. Be sure to bring some goodies for them. We had carrots and broccoli as our piggy treats, but don't get between the piggies and the food or you'll be sorry. After Pig Beach, we headed to Steniel Key for dinner at the Yacht Club. Lots of private boats dock here for dinner and partying afterwards. The Key is very welcoming and there are some nurse sharks that swim in the harbor. Some folks actually get in the water so they can say that they swam with the sharks. Our Steniel Key day wouldn't have been complete if we didn't take a stroll on the beach to experience another beautiful sunset. Today it was really busy, as you can see. We saw turtles, pigs, sharks, and a beautiful sunset. After Steniel Key, we headed to Shroud Key, and this was a full day of sailing and simply relaxing on the boat. As you can see, the beautiful aqua and blue waters and another magnificent sunset. It was simply a perfect day in the Caribbean. From Shroud Key, we headed to Allen Key, where we were able to snorkel and visit Iguana Island. For snorkeling, you can see lots of coral and fish. For Iguana Island, this is one of the best sites to spot a mess, the term used for a group of iguanas, and it was amazing. You can feed the iguanas lettuce scraps from a stick. Of note, the Allen Keys iguana is unique to this key and can grow to more than 4 feet in length. You can get really close to the harmless lizards, which as you can see are gray-brown in color and have the uniquely pink highlights. This was one of the many beaches we saw that day. Just lovely. Our last day of sailing was from Allen Key to Nassau. Lots of crystal clear water that ranged from pure aqua to teal to deep blue. As we headed out, we encountered a pool of dolphins who decided to swim alongside our yacht. Everyone was super excited to see the baby and its mother. I hope you liked the video as much as I did because I thought it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video later.
That would be great. Oh, look.
The baby keeps kind of going under the mother. Here it comes.
How the water is so clear. Look at them all together.
We arrived at the Nassau Marina, filled with so many boats. It was very picturesque. All too quickly, our sailing vacation was over. The Tradewinds Sailing Vacation from Georgetown to Nassau was fantastic. I'll leave you with some memorable moments during the trip. Amazing water views and sunsets, Big Papa Dumpling, chilling on the catamaran's trampoline, and our fearless captain doing his best James Bond departure to take us to the Thunderball Grotto. It really was an amazing vacation. Thanks for letting me share this with you, and see you after our next adventure.